Like, I was at a Penthouse in Panama City with a bunch of friends, women. I remember just feeling so sad. And I said, bro, I've never led anything in my life. Maybe I have something different than what you've dreamt up. The trajectory of my life, like from as far as I can remember, was becoming a doctor. So I'm the lead pastor at a church named Grace Lanier. We started the church about 4 or 5 years ago. As you can imagine, it's been probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Welcome to the Sonroom, a cozy little podcast where faith meets honest conversation. In here, we believe that wherever the light is, darkness will not prevail. Today, I have the honor and privilege to present to you my friend, Lee Lopez. How we doing, bro?
Hey, man. Doing great. Glad to be here. Thankful that gave me the opportunity to have a conversation. And yeah, man.
I'm excited. So Lee is a great man of God. He is very creative. He is very gifted. He has a wife named Savannah, and she is just as awesome, if not more, than he is. He has 3 beautiful kids. And man, you guys are a young family, bro, that it's like that you guys are running after God. And man, you guys are a great example, bro.
Man, well, thank you. And I think we're just people following Jesus as best as we can. And then we'll leave the rest to the Lord,
Come on. And I feel like that's kind of like our walk with God, Like, God, we're just going to try to follow you well.
Yep. I mean, at the end of the day, that's pretty much the only thing we could do.
Yeah.
I think responding to God is so much of the walk of the Christian.
Yeah.
Just to his goodness, his faithfulness. And then out of that response to the reality of God in our life, awesome things happen.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. So Lee, I wanna talk about a little bit about how we met.
Yep.
And then I wanna tap into like your childhood and your coming to Christ moment.
Yep.
I remember the first time I ever knew about you was really the first time I went out with my wife.
Yeah.
This was before we were even dating. Like, we were just starting to get to know each other. And I invited her out to eat. And she said, come on out. I got a friend that can join us. Let's all go out. And so we went to Taco Mac, and that was like the first time. Do you remember that?
Bro, I was third wheeling big time. Like, at some point I was like, man, I think they're going to leave me here and I'm going to eat my food by myself. But yeah, dude, I remember that. I remember going to Taco Mac by Swanee. And I don't remember what we ate, but I just thought, man, this is, I could see these guys ending up together. And
that's funny, bro.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That's what I loved about coming to the faith. Like, I just started meeting so many different people, bro. And it was just like, whoa, like where were all these people at,
Yeah.
So it was cool. I remember in that time, she was telling me that, hey, this is my friend. He's a youth pastor, and I remember specifically that she said he has been given opportunities to preach at his church. Mm-hmm. How old were you then?
When I was given those opportunities?
Yes.
I think I was around 21 or 22. Okay. I think.
Yeah.
I was around that. It's pretty young, I would say. And tell you the truth, I don't know if I would have gave me an opportunity. There was a guy by the name of Randy Rainwater. He saw something in me, and just a random day, he was just like, I feel like you need to go up there and give a word. And I'd never done it, Yeah. And
I love it.
It was just one of those things where God just had a plan.
I love it. I remember Joanna went to that preaching and to that service, and she even got a video of you. I remember her sharing it with me.
Wow.
It was pretty cool, bro.
That's crazy.
Lee, so we've known each other for a couple of years now, but I don't really know much about your childhood, so to say, bro. I'd love to hear you've mentioned some things, but I want to know more about your childhood and if you can tie into that, like your coming to Christ moment.
Of course. So I'm from Honduras originally.
Hondureño en la casa.
Yeah, man, Tegucigalpa.
Catracho.
Tegucigalpa, baby.
Nice.
And born there in 1991. And my parents were just amazing parents. You know, they are like first generation Christians, meaning that before them, there are no Christians, you know, in their family line. And, you know, I remember having an amazing childhood, just always doing something with them, going out. You know, me and my dad would always go up this mountain and hunt like little animals and you know, different things like that. Lizards, actually. And he had a little, you know, back in our countries, I don't know how Colombia is, but I know in my country, they have like dirt bikes, and that's what they call like motorcycles, you know?
Yeah.
And so my dad had a little dirt bike motorcycle, and we would go everywhere. So I think I had a really awesome childhood. But at the age of 4, my dad moves from Honduras to the States and leaves me, my mom, and at that time, my mom is pregnant with my little sister.
At the age of 4, bro.
At the age of 4. And I remember everything. I remember him getting in a car and leaving. I didn't have a real understanding of what was going on, but I remember just feeling so sad. And again, I couldn't understand what was happening. I knew he was leaving. I didn't know what that meant. But I share that because I think that's when God starts to speak into my life. I think that's where the journey of faith starts with me, because my dad leaves and he crosses the border, and day by day, we are praying for him. My mom is, you know, by herself with a little 4-year-old. There was nobody else, no family really around. And every night I remember my mom just saying, hey, we're going to kneel down and we're going to pray for your dad and the safety of your dad. And sometimes we wouldn't even hear from him for like 4 or 5 days, something like that. And I saw faith in action at that moment. You know, I saw like how my mom would just go to the Lord. And just begin to pray. And it wasn't like, you know, sometimes I feel bad because I think I pray and my prayers look like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you know, but when you're going through something like that where you don't know what's going to happen, it's like you pray for hours.
You pray from within your soul, man.
Yeah. And so that shaped my childhood. That shaped, you know, what I began to see God to be like. Like he was our helper. He was the hope that we had. He was our protector and all these things. Also, I began to see real community. The people from our church, there was a group of like 4 or 5 ladies that would come every single week to our home, and they would pray for us, and they would come and they would have like a little, you know, almost like a vigilia, almost like a little gathering where we would have music, there would be prayer. And that's how I remember accepting Jesus. One of these ladies that would come every week one day asked me, hey, do you know Jesus? Have you heard from him? Like, what is your relationship?
How old were you?
I was 4. I was 4. But I think she could see I was going through a lot of tension in my life, a lot of pain for not having my dad. And I can't even imagine what it must be like not to grow up with a father, because I was without a father in a sense for 2 years. And I remember Father Day. I remember my birthdays. I remember all these like moments that just felt like, gosh, I wish my dad was here. And it wasn't that he left us and abandoned us. It was that he wasn't physically.
A place for it. Yeah.
And I think you could see that in me. Like you could see that as a young man, like I was living in a tension of like, I know my dad loves me. I know he's doing something good for me, but I don't like sense him. He's not around me, you know, and stuff like that. And so I remember that one of these ladies grabbed that and said, you have a heavenly father that sees you and that loves you. And that just spoke to me,
crazy.
you know, and that's how I accepted the Lord. You know,
At 4 years old.
at 4 years old, you know, I remember I remember praying with her. We were in a rocking chair, and I remember everything, dude. And here's the thing,
That's
you know,
crazy.
as a young kid, I don't know how it's been for everybody else. Some people have asked, you know, like, how was it for you when you accepted Jesus at such a young age? They're like, well, you know, I just did the prayer and kept living. But bro, I entered into a relationship with Jesus.
Wow.
Like, it was wild. Those nights where we prayed, I remember feeling like convicted for some of the things that I was doing. I remember just having a sense of like God being around, you know, and kind of guiding me.
Crazy.
So that was really awesome. And at 4, I began, I think, you know, to have this walk
Relationship
with the
and-
Lord.
encounter. Wow.
Yeah. And so, fast forward, my dad comes back. We end up eventually moving to the States. And through my teenage years,
When did you get here, by the way?
2001, March 2001. So it was the first like vivid memory of being in the States really was 9/11. You know, because it was 2001 September. I remember where I was
couple of
at.
months later, yeah.
A couple of months later, and I had no idea what was happening. I just saw some planes crash into something. I didn't even understand the concept of the World Trade
Brand
Center.
new here was going on.
I had no idea what it was. I thought it was like a dam or something. Like, I had no idea.
Wow.
But yeah, those are some of my
first memories
of being in the country. And
Where did you guys move to?
We moved to at first we moved to Fort Lauderdale, and my parents got an opportunity there in terms of a job, but man, life over there is expensive. So we had to move to Atlanta, where my dad had this friend who was a pastor, and he opened up their basement to us and, you know, welcomed us. And, you know, we lived there for about 6 months until, you know, we got kicked out from that place, actually. Yeah. It was one of those things where it was, God had a plan, you know, like God always has a plan, even in the worst situations, or what we believe to be the worst situations. We moved around basement to basement for like a little while. And that was hard, man. I went to 7 different middle schools. Yeah.
How is that even possible, Lee?
Bro, we just would go from 7 different middle schools. Like, we would just go from one place, you know, some
do
people
all the
would,
paperwork, move you to another, like, because you had to do paperwork at all these different schools. Like,
Yeah.
where is he living? Like,
7 different middle schools. And
name some of them, bro.
so I went to Lilburn Middle School. I went to Richards Middle School. I went to Ross. I think it was called Roswell Middle School. It's up in Auburn, Georgia. And so those are some of the middle schools. I went to Trickham Middle School. I went to, you know, some other middle schools. But yeah, man, we would go around.
That's rough, bro. Like, in regards to just being a new, like, you were a new kid like 7 different times.
Yeah, like pretty much every year. I was
still trying to learn the language, I would think.
Yeah.
Because, like, that, you know.
Yeah, man. I mean, I defended myself, I guess. Like, what's funny, you know, I was in ESOL for literally a year, and then I tested out of it. Like, I guess, I don't know.
You were just in there for 1 year.
Basically. I don't even think it was a full year. Wow. And I tested out. I think I'm an okay test taker. But man, I had one of my friends jokes with me, like, you got out of ESOL too soon, because it's like we've been in the country the same amount of years. I have a thick accent, and he has like no accent.
That's funny, bro.
You know, and but yeah, 7 different middle schools. That was really hard in many different ways. But I think that started a rebellion phase for me because I was like, where's God? Like, we can't even find a place to live. We have nothing, bro. Like, there was a period of time.
Bro, and as you continue, siblings, how old are your siblings?
I have a sister that is 4 years younger than me, and I have a brother that's 15 years old, younger than me. So
you were
my
the
brother
oldest.
wasn't around. It was just me and my sister.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was just me and her, and yeah, we just jumped around.
Didn't have anything.
Did not have any. Okay, so at some point we were sleeping in the floor, and we didn't even have pillows. Like, just it was that.
Wow,
like,
bro.
you know,
The come up.
Yeah,
that
it's crazy.
Immigrant lifestyle, yeah.
But that made me question a lot of things. Like, I thought God was gonna be with us. I thought God was gonna, protect us and all these things. And in middle school, middle schoolers are some of the most savage, like, human beings to exist.
That's when I got bullied the most, bro.
Bro, I would wear the same 4 shirts to middle school, like, because that's all we could afford at that time, like, and I got bullied, I got made fun of, I got told all these things, right? And I think it did give me a thicker skin, and
Man.
but it affected my relationship with God, like, for sure. And I go into my rebellious state from high school all the way to college, and that's when I have a re-encounter with God in Panama City, man. I definitely was not the Vegas of the South, I called it.
It is the Vegas of the South.
Yeah, Panama City used to be wild. Now it's like, chill.
It's a different story, bro.
Yeah,
it's a different place now.
But that's where I found the Lord, man, in the Vegas of the South. Like, I was not looking for God there for sure, but
please tap into that, bro.
Bro, I was living just la vida loca. Like, I was.
Wow.
You think about it, I was probably.
This was your high school years?
I was already in college at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. Just everything that the world, like,
had to offer, you wanted a piece of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't really like to get into it, but like.
So this is like your encounter with God. You're just rekindling that relationship.
Right. Okay. This is, and I mean, it's a God thing. Yeah. It's like when Paul is on his way to persecute the Jews, and he has that vision, it's my Damascus Road experience, because I wasn't looking for God whatsoever. For God. Yeah.
Wow, bro.
But God, bro. I was at the height of my debauchery, and awesome, I had, like, all the things that, like, I wanted, or that I thought I wanted. Like, I was at a penthouse in Panama City with a bunch of friends, women in the penthouse, like, all these things that you're like, you're living the life.
Yeah.
But I just felt so empty. Like, a group of probably 30 people were in the room, and I was in the balcony, like, thinking, why do I feel so lost? Why do I feel so empty? High out of my mind. Like, just, and at that moment, dude, I remember being in this balcony like if it was yesterday. I remember the moon, the stars, the chill, the ocean sound. I remember all these things. And
what year was this, Lee?
I believe that's the only thing I don't remember.
We don't expect you to remember too much.
2011, 2013, about something like that.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
As you're giving me all these dates, our lives correlate a lot through all these different days, years and stuff that you get. But keep going, bro. Because I'm a year guy. Like, I like to know where I am.
Yeah.
We're during this time. I just but please continue.
And don't quote me on that year, because that's one thing I'm not good at. But I'm in this balcony and I'm saying, like, Lord, if you're real, like, Jesus, if you're real, God, if you're real, I need to hear from you.
Yeah, come on.
And I'm like, they're nothing. I hear nothing.
Nothing happens.
And then I'm like, well,
It's worth a try.
yeah, let's go.
Let's
I
go
don't know.
inside.
I would always do this. It's weird because I don't know if it's my personality or I don't know what. At like 4 a.m.,
Yeah.
I would be like, I want to get out of here. Let's go. And then I would just drive. And I don't know how, dude, there's so many, I'm sure in your story, it probably had the same thing happen. There's so many times I could have died.
God is
like
good, bro.
that.
100%.
I don't remember
100%.
absolutely a thing.
Yeah.
And I would get in a car and it's just horrible stuff.
Yeah, bro.
But God, like had a plan
The
and
hand of God
protected
was
me.
right there. Yes.
Yeah.
You can't deny that.
No, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to explain sometimes because how you get in a car, drive for 3 hours and don't remember a thing. I don't understand that. Like, and not, end up in a ditch.
Yes, exactly.
So I drive back to Atlanta from Panama City.
At 4 in the morning.
4 in the morning. Everybody's telling me like, please don't do this, man. Like trying to
bro, what are you
get me out of the
doing?
car. Yeah, and but
You drive to Atlanta.
I drove to Atlanta.
I'm out of here. I just don't feel good. I don't want to be here.
I always like to do that, but this time it was a little different. So I get in the car, drive 6 hours. Now catch this. I leave at 4. I get back I think like about an hour and a half before 12. We have a mutual friend who went to high school with me. We used to kind of be in the same, atmosphere. Gosh, I'm blanking on her name.
Talking about Michelle?
No. Oh, I knew Michelle too.
She went to Collins Hill.
Yeah, I knew Michelle too. Gosh, I'm blanking on her name. Really good friends with Joa. You guys hang out.
Oh man, you talking about Julie?
Julie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm talking about Julie, bro. And so Julie is like a pivotal part of my story. She goes and she meets the Lord, right?
Yeah.
And she somehow gets in contact with my parents and tells my parents about a camp,
bro.
and says like, I'll pay for him to go. I had no idea other than Julie had told me like, hey, you want to come to this camp? We're going to go out camping. And I was like,
Un encuentro.
Yeah. No, but my mind was somewhere else. I was like, Julie must be going back to the world or something, But little did I know, like she had talked to my parents.
Wow.
And
when was this? Was the same day?
The same day. Well, not the same day. Like she had talked to my parents, like let's say a few months before that.
Okay.
But the same day I come back from Panama City
to Atlanta
is the same day this camp is happening. I get there.
Hold on, bro. I gotta address the camera real quick.
Yeah.
This is a God moment right here. This man leaves Panama City at 4 in the morning because there's a void in his heart. And when he gets back to Atlanta the same day, there's a camp happening where he is about to have his second encounter with God.
Yeah.
You can't make this up, bro.
I mean, you can't.
I love
like
it.
all
I'm
these
getting chills just hearing
Yeah.
that story. Okay.
All these things, like honestly, I don't think I'm special or anything like that. But all these things in my life that have happened, like, is just
It's
I
a
can't
God
deny,
move, bro.
I
We can't deny
it,
that. We
man.
can't deny like the involvement of God, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I get there. My mom's like, "You made it."
When are they leaving to this camp, bro?
Literally, I'm the last person to get in. The way I remember it, I'm the last to. And it was the bus to Los Recuerdos. It was a bus that had like a little hole in the middle. And
Bro, you guys went in La Chiva?
we went in La Chiva, bro. We went in La Chiva.
I didn't even know they used La Chiva for that.
Yeah, they used the Chiva for.
So Joanna
encounters.
was in that Chiva too.
Yeah, Joanna was there. I think.
This is okay. La Chiva is another word for the party bus of Los Recuerdos. So this is a party bus that they're using to take all these people to a church camp to like literally just introduce them God.
Yep.
Come on now.
So it's crazy. Like
You were the last one to get picked up, like llegando.
And then they like
montando, like.
But in my mind, I'm going to like
nuts.
some sort of like camp where we can relax. They'll probably take out some drinks later on or something like that. And I get in the bus, we're driving, and they start singing coritos, bro. And I'm like, what? What is this? Like,
you really did not know where you were going.
I have no idea. Bro, dude, I had the worst headache in the world.
You were hungover.
Yeah. So,
oh my gosh.
We get there and the whole encuentro starts and this place is blacked out. I'm like, yo, what is about to happen here?
Come on.
And, they start preaching. And I grew up in the church. It wasn't anything new. It wasn't anything that even moved me. It was nothing like that. But at the end, they start ministering, going around. And then I was like, nah, nobody's about to come and try to push me or pray for me or anything like that. So I sat down and I was like, I'm going to pretend I'm doing my thing. And that way they won't come to me and say anything to me. So
I'm already praying. You don't need to come here.
Yeah, dude. I'm going to be like, I knew the Christian tricks, bro. If you grow up in the church, you got these tricks down your sleeve. You're just And so I'm over there,
You're on your knees.
I'm on my knees.
Were you really praying or you were just...
No, bro, I was avoiding them.
You were avoiding them.
Yeah,
okay. I didn't... Maybe you had them... Let me just pray a little bit. Okay, no, you were completely avoiding any type of...
At this point, I was like, how in the world do I end up in this place? This is just crazy to me.
Come on.
And you got to think about all the things that have just happened. I have been partying for a week straight. No sleep, nothing. Just crazy stuff, right?
We got the kids in. By the way, we got the kids. Our kids. He's been blessed enough to have various kids. I have too, so they're having a good time. What we hear there is the sound of life, bro.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay,
that's awesome. So anyway, long story short,
you're coming down from a week of partying. Yes.
Yeah. So there's nothing spiritual inside of me at this moment.
Yeah.
Other than when I was at that balcony and I said, Lord, if you're real, speak to me. I got to hear you, but crickets. I get there, I kneel down, and a mutual friend of ours, Wilbur, at this point, I don't know who Wilbur is. I've never met, I never talked to this name. I've never looked at this man in the eye, nothing.
Yeah.
I kneel down. And he's the first one. As soon as I kneel down, I'm trying to avoid everything that's going on. As soon as I kneel down, Wilbur comes behind me and begins to pray. And here are his first words, bro. I'll never forget this. God wants you to know that he can speak to you. Not only can he speak to you, but he wants to use you. And I go back to... In my mind, I go back to when I was like, if you're real, speak to me. And
it's the confirmation you needed.
I can't explain it. I just start crying.
Yeah.
I start bawling and I can't control it. And I'm not, anybody that knew me back then, I'm not somebody that's just going to cry. I just don't
you're just not going to see that part of
Yeah. And I just start crying. What's crazy is that now I'm like a crybaby. I cry all the time with things about the Lord. My wife's like, I've never seen you cry, but when we're at church, I'm out there just bawling.
I love it.
And yeah, dude, man, as this is happening, I'm just wrestling. I'm like, Lord, I don't know how I'm gonna leave the life that I've been living. I've tried before. I've tried. Everybody who's doing drugs knows that there's no good end.
Yeah.
In this situation. The thing is, I used to think this is just for a little while. But then when you try to stop it, that's when it's you see the reality, right? And
very difficult. Extremely.
I was just asking the Lord, I was just telling him, I don't know how to quit this. I don't know. I want this to be real. But I just don't know how to really make it real. And God was just like, I got you. Just listen to me. Just follow me.
Come on.
Bro, I come back from the encuentro, and Fridays were the toughest. My family at this point had like a little house, and my room was downstairs. My friends used to come on Fridays, knock at my window, and they were like, "Let's go, bro.
It's time.
Let's go."
Yeah.
Like, there's this party, there's this thing.
Yeah.
And I would be a liar to tell you like, man, I was just like, I'm a new man. Like, I'm over here. I'm just going to read my Bible. No, it wasn't like that. Mm-hmm. Like, everything inside of me wanted to go. Like, everything inside of me wanted to go.
Yeah.
But I remember that first, like, battle, like somebody coming in, knocking, and I said no. I knew there was something different inside of me, and I would turn 104.7 to fish.
Come on.
And bro, I would just get on my knees and I would
just start
cry and pray and ask God, Lord, like, make me a different man.
Yeah.
You know,
freedom.
My main cry to the Lord was, give me a humble heart. Like, I think so much of how I got so far away from God was because there was so much pride. You know, and that was my biggest cry to the Lord. Like, give me a humble heart. Yeah. Give me a humble heart. Give me a humble heart. And it went from 1 month to 6 months to a year to 3 years to 6 years. You know, different battles. Like, but once you like overcome that first battle, once you are like holding on to Jesus and you say no to the things that you need to say no to and yes to the things you need to say yes to, man, the rest of the journey is doable.
Yeah.
You know,
you gain strength. Those victories are
it
big.
builds you up.
Yeah.
Builds you up. So that's my coming to Jesus story.
Man.
In a way. Yeah.
Bro, that was beautiful, man.
Thank you, bro.
Whew. You can't deny like every prayer that we say to God, man. Like, God really hears. A lot of the correlations that like my story and like yours had was that I was also born in 1991. I came to this country in 2000. I think it was March of 2000. So just 1 year before you.
Yeah.
Also got bullied in middle school. And the times that you were running around crazy, 2011, 2013, like those were my crazy years too. But there was moments of prayer where the little that I knew of God, like I used it. Okay, pray to God, and I would pray, you know. And it was in a small church one day where the Lord met me, and I was like, whoa, like that moment where you knew that God was talking to you through your friend, through Will. That I had a similar moment to where I'm like, man, I just heard from God.
Yeah,
I just heard from God, man. You know, and so it planted a seed, and just like you, like. There was part of me that I was like, man, I'm leaving this lifestyle, which is difficult. But there was another part of me that was like, man, like, I want this. I want this new life. And I think I can do this. And, you know, then I start getting those little victories.
Yeah.
Lee, when did that call for ministry come into your life in regards to the local church?
That's a great question. And I think a few years ago, I would have answered it different than what I'm about to answer it.
Oh, I'm excited to hear this.
There is a devotional from a guy called Oswald Chambers that I try to do every year. And Oswald Chambers says, God never calls a man into something other than himself. And what I understand of that is that I have a call to Jesus, not necessarily to be part of a ministry or like a pastor.
Right.
Although that's part of following Jesus in my life.
Correct.
You know? So all that to say, man, I think the call was there from the beginning. It has just express itself out, you know, as I've said yes to certain things and no to others. So in terms of being connected to, you know, the church or ministry, this started in my junior year of college. A tree fell in the house where me and my roommates were gonna rent. And so because of that, I had to move back to my parents' house. And through a series of events, I end up meeting like some friends and people at a like a children's activity. Like we would go down to Clarkson. I don't know if you know, but Clarkson's one of the most diverse square miles in the entire world. That's where refugees go.
I thought in America only.
And well, in the entire world,
Yeah,
because
that makes sense.
most of the refugees that come into America are placed there in their specific, you know, areas and cities all across the United States that, you know, refugees go into. Clarkson's one of them. So we used to go and, you know, do activities with the kids. And I love, you know, investing in the next generation and being with kids. And all that to say, in one of those meetings, there was a guy there. His name's John Raymond.
Okay.
And he was the house church pastor of Grace Churches. At that point, it was just Grace Nelville.
Okay.
He's now the pastor at Grace Athens.
Okay.
All that to say, he comes up to me and he says, I heard that you live 5 minutes away from GGC. And I said, yeah, I do. Now, granted, I've never met this dude.
Okay.
Like, he's just like coming over,
Okay.
you know, say, I'm John Raymond. I heard that you live 5 minutes. Yes, I do. Can we use it for a house church? And I was like, it's not my house, man. And I just moved back with my parents. So he's like, well, ask your parents. We go. I asked my parents, thinking, my parents, there's no way they're going to be like, yes, you know.
Yeah.
We don't know this guy. We don't know what in the world, like even a house church, the concept was, you know, not something that we knew completely.
Yeah.
So my parents said yes. The guy says, one day we do like a little walk, a prayer walk, and he says, I think you should be the speaker of the house church. And I said, bro, I've never led anything in my life. Like, I don't like speak in front of people. Wow. I don't like, when I speak in front of people, my hands get sweaty. I feel like I'm going to throw up, all this stuff.
Still?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
But
like, you seem very comfortable.
No, back then, dude.
Yeah,
back then.
Okay.
And so the guy was like, well, it doesn't matter. We'll just do it. Like, I was like, okay.
Just do it, man.
Well, and man, we started with 6 people, me and several really good friends, and man, that thing exploded. And
I love it.
It was after that I sensed God saying, like, maybe I have something different than what you've dreamt up. Because I've always wanted to be like, I was in school for biology. I was applying for med schools and all that stuff.
You wanted to be a doctor.
That trajectory of my life, like from as far as I can remember, was becoming a doctor. And so,
and you were on your way to become that.
Yeah. So I finished school, and just door after door begins to open in terms of, you know, working in the ministry world with churches and doing things where I'm leading groups, and, you know, I'm more involved as like, you know, a pastor or whatever. So, but yeah, man, I would say, for me, I'm called to follow Jesus. Yeah. And ultimately, if that means I get to wear the hat of a pastor or the hat of a father or the hat of an employee, dude, whatever, I'm just here to follow Jesus as best as I can. And the rest is up to him.
So this vocation, this calling, right? Like, along with many other callings that you have on your life, like, it kind of found you in a way. Like you were just out there loving on God, so then you were loving on people,
Yeah.
and it just evolved into what it is now.
Right.
Lee, what currently are you doing now? Like besides being a husband, a father, a friend,
Yeah.
like I want people to know you, bro, because a lot of people already know you in Gwinnett, but I feel like there's still a good group of people. Gwinnett is huge.
Right.
So like what is your current role right now?
Yeah, so I'm the lead pastor at a church named Grace Lanier. We started the church about 4 or 5 years ago in the middle of a world pandemic. And as you can imagine, it's been probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, for sure. And we are at Sugar Hill. We're around that area. But really people from all over the area come to our church. That's what I do. This is my full-time job.
Yeah.
But man, the joy of my life is really encountering people who are hungry for God, bro. Like that is that. I feel like that's more of my calling. I'm not trying to be like unique or anything like that.
No.
Like
that's what drives you, bro.
Yeah. I love when people are hungry for God. You know, you just see so much.
Yeah, bro.
When you're hungry, when
bro, it changes.
Yeah. Yeah. So it
changes everything, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, Grace Lanier, Sugar Hill, that's where we're pastoring at. And man, I'm just blessed to have a group of people that are hungry for God and for others. So
yeah. And I know that to be true because every time that we like meet up and we talk, you when you share about like, man, there's this person that's been coming to my church and they're passionate about the word. Like there's always one of those stories and I could see how it just drives you. And I could see like, that's really what you look forward to. Like to experience these things along, with these people and stuff. And so I know that to be true because you always talk about those stories, bro. Kind of want us to kind of like start landing the plane here. And I want to ask you about, in regards to the world, in regards to the church, however you, like where your heart wants to take it, like what is something that grieves your heart and what is something that uplifts it? Like what is something that you're just like, man, like I feel, man, I feel the weight of the pain when I think about this that is going on. And what is something else that you're just like, oh man, I'm encouraged.
Yeah.
I'm uplifted.
That's a great question. I think the thing that grieves my heart the most is people who have changed the world and while doing that have lost themselves. I don't think God ever calls us to that. And it is so sad to see brothers and sisters who in the eyes of the world have everything in terms of success, hundreds if not thousands of people following them. And I'm not one of those people that likes to demonize like mega churches. I think they have their place. I think it's wonderful. They do some of the great work that, smaller churches won't be able to do or can't 100%. Do, all that stuff. But numbers can't be it. And I see so many people for the sake of gaining success lose themselves, and by themselves I'm not even just speaking about them personally, but like destroy their families. I go back to the words of Jesus, like why does it profit a man to gain the whole world and in the process lose his soul? And so my biggest thing is, Lord, don't let me lose my soul. Don't let me lose my passion for you.
That's good.
It's easy to be passionate about seeing results. And not that results are evil. But can you be passionate when things when things are not going right?
Come on.
When it seems like the reality that you're living and the expectations you had of God don't match up.
Yeah,
Can you
that's good.
still remain passionate? And
That's good.
that's the biggest thing that this journey with Grace Lanier has taught me. I would say being a young pastor and having a church start, a church plant, has revealed so many things in my life,
Come on. Thank you, God.
And painful things. I love this quote by A.W. Tozer. He says, "Rarely will God use a man greatly before he first wounds him deeply." And my goodness, this 5 years have been a process of dying to myself,
That's good.
of knowing what really matters in following Jesus. That I'm not going to be thanked, judged, or applauded in heaven by the number of people that I'm able to reach,
Yeah.
but
good,
by
bro.
the character that I'm able to portray to my children, to my wife. At the end of the day, man, like, what grieves me is that we as Christians many times don't live out what we say we are.
Come on.
And that is not no judgment. I think it's only by grace
Yeah.
that we can get to a place where we can align with what we say we believe, But it takes these painful moments with God where we say, I surrender. When we say there's a knock of the world in our window and we say, Jesus, today I choose you over these things, over these temptations, And so what grieves me, to going back to your question, is this thought that we can have both the world and the acceptance of Jesus, and you just can't. You just can't. And it's so sad to me to see how many brothers are falling and finding themselves in these scandals. And people in the world are like, why would I want to join this? This seems messy. This seems wild. At least the people that I talk to.
Yeah.
So that's what grieves me. What brings hope?
Yeah. What uplifts you, bro?
Man,
What gives you hope?
going back to people who are hungry for God. You can't fake being hungry for God.
Yeah, bro.
Like, when you see somebody, when you see a young
That
man,
zeal.
like, it doesn't even have to show up. There's a young man that comes to our
contagious,
church.
bro.
It's contagious for sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be charismatic, and it doesn't have to be like, there's some people that have that like charisma and just, will get you pumped up and will like just set the tone. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I know some quiet, hungry people that their actions, the way they love, the profound mysteries that God reveals to them are not as like,
Flashy.
showy.
Yeah.
Flashy. And so when I speak about hunger, I'm not speaking about, you're out there and you're speaking in the corners, but I'm speaking about a depth. I'm speaking about, I remember Acts when the Jewish leaders said, we can tell that these uneducated men have been with Jesus. And that's what I mean when I say like hungry people uplift me. Those people that you can tell, like they have been.
You're walking
with
with
Jesus.
God.
Yeah, man, dude. When you're around these people, it's
bro.
just like heaven on earth, bro. And there's nobody perfect out there,
Yeah.
but like it is just. It's just different, And brothers and sisters who are walking closely with the Lord. Those are the things that uplift me, to see a different way, even in this broken world, even in this confusion. I mean, this world's confused, bro. Like we don't know what to believe, when to believe it, how to believe it. I mean, it's just so crazy.
So much going on.
But I will say, God always has His people, His remnant, and they do a lot of good. So
that's great, bro. Lee, when I think about you, bro, I think about you in a way where I think you're a fighter, bro. I think one of the things I enjoy about you the most is your vulnerability. I think I would say that you're pretty transparent with the way you walk. You don't shy away from sharing, like, hey, man, these are some of the things that I desire, or, but you don't make it seem like everything is all good. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So I admire that about you, bro.
Thank
It's encouraging every time we get together, bro. Like it's cool. I'm encouraged, and I'd love to hear like everything about your family and your church family and everything that God's been doing that, bro. I'm excited for you, bro. I'm excited for what your kids become.
Yeah.
I'm excited for what your church, continues to be. And bro, thank you so much for coming on.
Bro.
We can go on for 2 hours,
I feel like we could, yeah.
And I feel like I'd love to have you over again, because I feel like there's more things I want to tap into. Today, I wanted people to get to know the Lee that I know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With at least a little bit of the Lee that I know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
Bro, well, I thank you for your kind words. And it's really an honor to be here and seeing what God is doing in your life and in the life of your family is also very encouraging. And, bro, I think like we're fairly young. We're 91, right?
Yeah.
Man, there's so many miracles and amazing things that are yet to come. And I'm just thankful to have brothers, and and I consider you a brother in Christ, and that are in this journey. And I can't wait to see what comes out of all of this, that the journeys that God has placed us in. I can't wait to see
bro.
What happens. So thank you. It's an honor. I appreciate you. And
yeah, man. You ready to eat some tamales?
Ready to eat some tamales, bro? Are they like Colombians have tamales?
They're Guatemalan, bro.
Oh, Guatemalan?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Those are good. I already had me a few, so
okay.
Yeah,
that's
bro.
awesome, dude. Yeah,
let's do it. Thanks again, man.
Yeah,
and yeah, man. Till next time. This is the Sonroom. It's my boy Lee. You can follow him. I'm gonna put it all in the description, but if people are curious, Lee, like where can they follow you? Where can they like go and look up your church if they want to attend?
Yeah. So we are at Lanier Middle School. We meet at a middle school. Our social media stuff is gracelanier.com. There you can find our Facebook, our Instagram, and all that good stuff. gracelanier.com. You can follow me at Shamir Lopez. That's my Instagram. And yeah, you can find me in all the, good social media stuff. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. Yeah. All right, y'all. Peace.